Yo, what up?
Nothing.
What up, YouTube?
So,
It's the Leverys. There's Christian. We're doing a little update tonight. Christian wanted to work late with Daddy again. He wants to get paid. And we got, let's see, this flipper. We got Ernest over there. And doing an update on Project Dark Knight. Got quite a bit done. It don't look like it from the stuff that we're doing right now. Actually, I'll let hang on. Go turn off the fan. Push the power on that. I'm gonna let Ernest tell y'all what's been going on here, so you guys can see what's going on.
Well, what's new? What did we do this week?
Aside from running ABS as well.
ABS. It looks pretty.
Yeah.
So, well, went ahead and did the change up on the harness after all. We already had a Holly coming in for
Project Bluebell.
So, sorry. We were gonna use it for Bluebell, but we decided to use it for Allen's build after all.
We're still ordering. We still ordered another one for Bluebell,
so
but
now we got to order another harness and another screen. But when you see this, how all this stuff is gonna work when it's in action, it's gonna be you're gonna see why we went this route instead. But we ran. I was initially starting off the week with running the factory harness, factory stuff. So we as we went on through the week, I was working on it. Me and Joe were talking, and we were like, you know what, the harness, the Holly came in, so we're gonna change it completely, and that's what we ended up doing. So now it's gonna be well, it was already initially drive-by-wire, but this time running the Holly stuff, you're gonna have unlimited capabilities to do all sort of stuff. So one of the cool things is why I wanted to run this, because I wanted to run the screen. And with the screen, we can do so many custom stuff. So any image that you can think of, like on a splash image, you can put it in the background, and we have something special planned to put for. So this is going to be your gauges now. You're going to have all the information on this little screen, and it's totally customizable. That's what I'm running on Green Thing, and this is a full-on race car. And although Allen's is going to be a street car, it's going to be a race car at the same time if you wanted to convert it.
oh yeah.
So you could, the options that Holly gives you with all this setup is unlimited. This is the best that you can, as far as get your hands on right now. This is going to be a treat.
Mm-hmm.
All the information is going to be on there. It is touch screen.
Yeah, because we were gonna go with some
GPS.
regular type gauges for the build, and once we started kind of doing it, we started going a little further, and we said, you know what, this thing deserves to
We're like,
to go
we can't-
extra.
We can't just fall short on that.
Yeah.
So, and I felt bad because Bluebell's going to have all that, and then Allen's was going to be left in the dirt
Yeah.
after that. So we're like, no, we better pick up the pace, and we better go ahead and do it all. So we ended up undoing all the harness just to come back and redo
Yeah,
all this
because
here.
we had already started on the other factory harness,
Yeah, and
tapping into that,
I was
and
already running
Ernest
it.
was running all the wires, and he lots of hours already went into that harness over here.
one.
That's the harness that
Well,
was
that's the
being
body harness, that
the
one.
body one, and then
Yeah.
which
That-
the other one.
The other one, I have it over there.
Okay, well he's got the other one over here.
Yeah.
So, a lot of hours went into it, but once we
More
started
hours
talking
went
to it,
into
once
this
the Holly kit finally came in, we had a little predicament with the shipping company.
Oh, yeah.
You could tell them about that. It took a good while to get here.
Well, so I ordered the stuff for Bluebell a week and a half, and it should have worked. Summit's here in Arlington, which is not even an hour away.
Yeah, it's
And
45
I should
minutes.
have had it the next day, which they guarantee a 3-day ordeal. Anyways, I should have had it here the next day because they had it in stock. Well, a week, not that next week, but the week following is when they decided to ship it out or to deliver it. And they were just carrying it around in circles for whatever reason.
It was here in Weatherford in our town, And then the next thing you know, at the end of the day, they send it all the way back to Fort Worth, which is another 30, 40 minutes away from us. And then the next day they'd be again in Weatherford, and then back to Fort Worth.
Yeah, I
It's
kept
just
checking up
ongoing.
the status on it, and it said hold, 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 and I was already getting really mad. But anyways, all that's behind us now. We got it, and we actually put it on.
Those are the things we have to tackle sometimes. It's
Yeah.
not us, it's our suppliers and the shipping companies. And
But either way, all this harness here, don't get it wrong. Like, it's not just you get it out of the box and you put it in together.
yeah.
Man, we have to literally take it apart because we're running certain stuff in there, which is like integrating electric fans, and I want it to run like factory.
If you look at the
So-
wires, it looks like almost nothing of wires there. This was so many hours
Oh, yeah.
of us tucking this thing and making it look like just the way it looks, and everything is organized. Like, and we're not even done.
Well, you can see some of them. These are like extra wires that have to come from certain places that come short, and then we have to extend them. And there's still some that are short. That
Yeah.
you see, I
All
gotta
this is not
extend.
done. We're not done. None of
And
this
I have to
here.
come
But
over here and bring them over here. But that you can't just finish it off all in one go. You have to kind of go in stages before you can get to one overall, finish ordeal. But we go over here on this side. Well, you can see where we're running the power gauges. This is all 2 gauge, so you're not gonna have any issues cranking. Any power draw issues.
what do we got going on here? What's that? Also,
This here,
Mhm.
well, this is gonna hold this harness, which is the body harness. This is the factory harness that comes from the car and off the Trans Ams, and that's the fuse center that's gonna run here. And usually it runs right here on the stock.
right, they're up here
This
in
is
the front.
under your hood.
So now it's
And
gonna be
now
inside.
it's gonna be right here. And what
So
I
your
have
fuses,
to do,
relays, and stuff
yeah,
go there.
so it's gonna have fuses and relays. So a lot of it's not gonna be used, but I'm just what you call is piggyback off in it, like tapping into the harness and kind of using what's needed, and then tying it into the ECU stuff like that. So body harness, which consists of, it's better to just use this. Like what we're gonna end up using is obviously your power, switched ignition, headlights, parking light, grounds, and commands like the relays for the fans, the cooling fans, and like the horn. So really, we didn't need a lot of those wires, but that's how we're gonna leave it, and it's just more simplified that way. Especially it was for the car, and a lot of it's gonna be kind of left on hanging. Like, it can't be 100% finished until we're go through stages. So some of the harness there, like for the headlights and the parking lights, I'm just gonna kind of leave them undone until we get to messing with parking lights and headlights and that kind of stuff. The horns. The main stuff that we do need is like for the steering column. Once we run the steering column, it's gonna feed the power to the command center here, and then that's pretty much it. A lot of the interior harness that runs inside the interior, we're not gonna need that. We don't have no more doors. We don't have any more security stuff that's gonna be, because we're gonna use different means of security.
Yep.
Which is gonna be totally eliminated from factory stuff. So.
We can explain about the intake too, how we had to reverse it, and also.
Yeah, so when we put the front clamshell on, one of the snags we run into was the intake, the throttle body was too far out, and yet alone it was already kind of hitting the front snout opening, and
Right where the turbine goes.
yeah, where the front opening turbine. So that was just throttle body without any kind of air filter or anything like that. So it's gonna have all the clearance it needs being flipped around.
This is where the throttle body originally was, and
Yeah.
now it's gonna be
Yep.
flipped around over here. We also got a spacer coming for it.
Yeah, I already got a 92mm throttle body for it. All that stuff that we're gonna use, like the throttle body and the harness and screen, was gonna be for Bluebell. So we're still gonna order it again.
Yep.
We still gonna have another order coming in.
Yeah. Don't worry, Lisa. We got one
Yeah,
coming for
so-
you soon.
I'm hoping this week coming or the next, like towards the ending of next week, we'll have something coming in with the drivetrain. Right, we'll have the
Yeah.
motor.
Yeah, we'll have it
sent
here
out
next week.
and
Yep.
stuff.
Mhm.
Hopefully, it's been really crappy the weather and the
Oh,
rain
yeah.
slows things down really bad for us. And it's just real muddy. It just makes work hard. But
Distribution
over
blocks
here
and all
on this
that.
side, yeah, we got all the fuses. This for the Holly and the relays that you need here, and this is your PCM. We're running the Terminator X Max, so this is the top stuff you can get.
Basically,
out.
where you're seeing everything, this is where it's all going to be mounted. Now, don't let all this deceive you, because all of this is going to be all finished and painted. Right now, this is all
Yeah.
what we do is mock up. We take all this stuff off and on several times to be doing new things or whatever. But this is the way the wiring is. Those are for the injectors. We got some plugs coming in to do a direct connection, and that's all the wires ran to the starter. Compressor wires, they all run inside here.
Yeah, so
all
you got
inside that.
all 10 gauge to the solenoid of the starter, which is big dog stuff. You're not going to be under current. On
Yeah,
none
you're
of
not
that.
going to be struggling for any
No,
juice.
and then on top of that, what we're going to end up doing for your charging, or not your charging system, but your power system, we're going to add 2 batteries. Because I plan on having this car where it's going to make some noise stereo wise, so you won't have, if you drain 2 batteries, and I mean you drain 2 batteries, so but we're trying to eliminate any kind of possibilities, because you get to a spot and you want to turn on the stereo, and that usually drains your battery real quickly, so we're just trying to eliminate any kind of foreseen problems that might be a nuisance in the future. But this is your junction box here. This is where a lot of the stuff come into this point, and then just distributes from that point.
So you can just basically take it off, and you
Yeah,
can
you shouldn't
access
need
to
to
it.
mess with here, but
Yeah, this is just
this is all just
this is the way we do things, and it runs all to your wires. You tap into them and organizes it real clean, and just that's a professional way to do it. It's just the way. It's the way we do everything. Every build that we do, that's the way things should be. Just do it right the first time. Be have
yeah.
to
You'll
tracing
never have
back
to come
problems
back to it
again.
again.
Okay.
And so on the back side, what we ended up doing here, ran all the fuel pump harness already. Joe finished running it up earlier. He ran for the fuel sending unit, which those wires over there are just, like I said earlier, can't finish everything 100% until you're like going stages, so that just has to stay there until we're done. But technically all this here is already finished, so we don't have to come back to it. And the fuel pump and the fuel cell, actually,
Yeah, the fuel
we didn't have
cells.
that done last time.
Yeah, that's all already.
And we ran
Custom
the fuel
made
lines
brackets
also this week too. When we first started, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
one.
Yep.
Ran the fuel lines. Very nice and neat. We'll show you once we get the car back.
Yeah,
up.
it's got to be up, but it's down through the bottom, and it's running really nicely where it's going to be routed.
And it is,
And,
like we had told you in previous videos, in case you've forgotten or didn't catch it, it's a PTFE line, which is going to be resistant to any type of ethanol, methanol type fuels, which if you start running rubber lines, you'll have problems down the line. This stuff right here, you'll never have problems. It's good.
check out Ernest's custom brackets here to mount that down.
Yeah, so the brackets we got coming.
Yeah, we
I
got
haven't
some
finished.
custom ones.
I haven't finished plumbing up from here to the pumps yet because I'm waiting on a union. So I was just waiting for one part just to finish off the rest.
Was
But
that
we
the
got-
ones coming in tomorrow?
Probably, maybe.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but they'll be coming. So, but you literally the fuel system's like 100% done after that, and I'm like finished.
Where it's almost where basically we can
Yeah, I can
put
probably-
fuel in the tank and it'll deliver it to where it needs
Yeah,
to go.
it'll go straight to the motor and
So
be ready to
you know
fire
it's
up.
doing its jobs, going to the injectors, and you know it's crazy because that's what's taking up all our time is that we're getting it where literally once we're about done, this thing's gonna get ready to just fire right
To
up.
be honest with you, man, You think we could probably fire it up?
It's getting close. We're getting real close to it. Yeah. Once we get the throttle body,
Once we finish the batteries, obviously.
yeah, get
After
the power
batteries,
to it.
we could probably fire it up just to hear it fire up, just for the sake of.
Yeah.
So that's how close we are. We're literally like that far along. And the fuel cell's done. All we got to do now is just a matter of dismantling it all and going back to painting it. But that ain't gonna get done until we're like almost finished. I'll probably end up finishing off the
Battery trays and the radiator.
yeah.
And for
And
the fans.
floorboards, we got to do the floorboards and that kind of stuff, and then we'll paint all of it.
So I think we told them in the other video we were going to try to see if we could make the radiators work in the front, and that obviously didn't work out.
Yeah.
Because I had told Ernest I was about 99% sure that those we just weren't going to be able to fit radiators in there, and we just made the determination that they're definitely not. So we're going to run them back here.
So just like we did the front clamshell testing, all that stuff, we got to put the rear section back on because I can't remember where it all comes down. So we're gonna tuck up the radiator stuff up in here, and then the fans are gonna push down towards the floor, and then we plan on running the coolant, the plumbing for the coolant to the front of the engine through the side over here, and take measurements where we're going to put the radiator in the condenser, and then we're going to put I don't know if the batteries will fit here. I just got to test fit it first. We just have to put the body back on it, and then we'll know 100% where everything's got to go. So once the batteries are on and the fan and condensers are on, there's pretty much no more mechanical stuff that we need other than like running the coolant lines. But
you know what?
we don't have to do that right off
Brakes
the bat.
too are done.
Yeah,
Calipers,
we finished,
rear
so
brakes, front.
We painted the rear calipers, the Bumin.
They're not
brackets.
on. They're not on here right
Yeah.
now. We just got the rotors on it and the rims
We're gonna
mounted.
dismantle all the rear end, do all the stuff, dismantle it completely, service the rear end,
Paint the
change
rear end.
fluid, and I'm gonna adjust the lash on the backlash on it, on the ring and pinion, and so it's all getting done 100% restored, all of it, and better.
Those calipers are already on.
At the front, yeah, we're
Fronts
done.
are done as far as the brakes, the calipers, the pads. It's all brand new brake job in the front. New rotors, drilled and slotted rotors, vented ones. Like last time I told y'all, the suspension and everything's all done, man. I mean, it's also the transmission.
Yeah, we put
the transmission. Forgot
put
about
the
that.
transmission
Just go ahead and
on
lift it up. We'll lift it up so we can show. But transmission, I forgot about that too.
Yeah, we're gonna put the transmission.
That actually barely got done today.
So the reason why we put the transmission on is because we're gonna run the front cooler up here in the front, which is the transmission cooler. Probably run it somewhere up here, but we'll probably have to again test fit the front clamshell to make sure there's gonna be clearance
Right.
where I want it here. But the plan is to put it like somewhere here or wherever it's gonna go, and then we're gonna run the lines that way into the transmission in the back. So this car is being built exceeding what the factory ever needed, and it's not even basically it's being built way more reliable, right, than what the
Oh,
factory
yeah.
had.
Yeah, factory never built it that way.
Nuh-uh.
So
So the coolant lines are going to run over here. This is the inlet and outlets, and we're going to run the hard piping throughout this side right here, and it's going to run through the side over here. Come, we'll have to figure out the routing, but the plan is to just come here and then kind of come through.
follow all the way to
follow
the back.
line, and then figure out where we're going to run it from here. It's just all depending where the radiator is going to sit and that kind of stuff. But that's the plan. And what we'll do is just run it from here all the way to the back. And the fans are going to take care of the cooling. Oh, and then what we're doing is for the top, where the top area is, there's a scoop, there's an opening. We're going to use that as a ram air to bring in fresh air into the cooling. So it won't need it, but it's going to have it regardless.
Add some of that cool factor to it. Give it a purpose, not just a look. Now the transmission we put isn't the one that's staying in there. This is just the mock-up one. Remember, because that ended up being the transmission that's not going to work for us. So we figured for now, while we're still waiting on that transmission to come in, we're going to use this one for mock-up. So it didn't go to waste for us, at least.
Yeah, I don't know if we showed them the bottom yet.
No, I don't think we have.
Well, it's hard to see right now. It's all dark.
It is. It's really dark, but it's coming out really good. This pan, obviously, this is not going to be there. That's just.
This is not gonna.
So just ignore that on the transmission.
Like this stuff
even
here, all new polyurethane mounts, painted cross member.
I probably should have brought a light down here, but
Yeah.
this is just kind of give you a. This is
more.
yeah. This is just to kind of give you a quick video here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
But the PTF line, like we're showing you, that's the fuel hose.
It's
Yeah,
just
run
running
that
all the
yeah.
way.
And then we still got to run your brake line for the rear brakes also.
Mm-hmm.
We'll figure that out. It'd probably just be custom bent. Just figuring out the path that we want to take first. And obviously, once I probably build a bar there for it on both sides, and just weld the bar, and we can just use it as a mounting area.
Yep.
Obviously, there's no floor yet. So.
Mm-hmm. It could be like the Flintstones where you use your feet to run.
Yeah. You see, you got a grease or oil leak problem there. That's all the stuff we're gonna end up doing is servicing
Oh yeah.
your axle seals, service your pinion. I'm gonna take it all out. Probably just put a, well, while we're in there, we're just gonna check the backlash and tighten it up if it needs to.
Anything that needs to be replaced is going to be
Yep,
replaced. So.
we're gonna put new shocks in the back.
Oh yeah.
We got the springs that we'll probably be using on it.
Yep.
It's gonna get all polyurethane mountain bushings. We're gonna paint all this, paint the rear end.
All the suspension stuff, everything.
100% how you see it on this side is how this is
yeah.
gonna look once we're finished with it. But just to get you a rough idea, that's how the car started life as when we started.
Actually,
this
not even.
build.
It was worse. This is already a power wash. We power washed a lot of it out, but it still needs a lot more.
And
What was I gonna say?
oh yeah, well, now that we got the transmission on, the reason we kind of rushed to get it on is because I'm gonna build a custom torque arm. These cars use a torque arm, so we're gonna just build a custom one. And dry shaft, we could also measure for a dry shaft.
Get a custom
while we're
made.
doing it, Yep. So we're gonna measure for a dry shaft after we build the torque arm. So that's actually the next step we have to do is build the torque arm, because we want to make sure we have the right pinion angle,
Yep.
that sort of thing. So
That's pretty much it. I think as far as for just this week alone.
yeah, next week. There's never knowing what's gonna happen exactly, because obviously the plans always there's battles that are unforeseen, but for the most part, as long as we keep pushing forward, that's all that really is the biggest
Yep.
thing we can have. And the exhaust, we're gonna end up running a dual exhaust with an X pipe. And I don't know, man, if you want to just run like straight pipe or you want to have mufflers on here or what. You kind of let us know on that, because everybody has a different opinion. So
Corsa. Yep. I think that's it for tonight. for the video. At least we might
Yeah.
do a couple little things here and there before we call it a night. But I'm really happy with what's been done, because the wiring part, man, is what
Yeah, the
really,
wiring. I was about to say the wiring is just what kills you.
yeah,
over
it
time.
takes a lot of patience.
It
Like,
just takes so much.
we were closing up the loom once we were like, I think we got it all wired up and we're done, and we're closing up the loom, and guess what? Oh man, we forgot one wire. We got to run that way. We're gonna run the same direction, because we don't like just having all these wires running all these different directions. So we unloom it all over again and reroute it, and it's definitely a time-consuming process. But at the ending, man, it's when you see it and you don't see like all these wires like a mess everywhere. It's just that's where the reward is. And we could have been done literally a lot sooner if it wasn't for that. We probably would have been already doing body work with the bodies, trying to start mounting them onto into the chassis. But just the way we are, we're real particular on those things, and it takes us more time. We lose a little more money because it takes us a lot longer to do those things. But that's the difference between just the get it done to the attention to detail get it done. So it's
Yeah, and this.
it's just looking really good, man. I'm really happy with it. Really happy with it.
Everything is new. Hoses, rack and pinion, every single thing.
Full tune up. I mean, everything. This thing is not gonna need anything. You get in there,
Like
it's
a
just gonna
brand new
start right
car,
up.
Better
Yeah.
than new parts, you know. So. And the way this engine's built with just factory cam and factory heads and all that, this thing will last forever.
Yeah.
It'll never. Even if you tried to break it, you're not going to.
Yeah.
know?
These engines are pretty much bulletproof. They're really well built engines.
Well,
We're
for
real
what
pretty
the
happy
parts
with it.
are on it,
Oh
even
yeah.
if you had performance parts on there, they're still hard to take down. Yet
Yeah.
alone, as long as you just don't run it out of oil, period.
Oh,
which
yeah.
there's no reason why.
Right.
But you know, these things can keep going forever.
That's why we use a lot of these engines when we swap them. We stand behind them because we know what they are, you know. And a lot of the people that will say anything bad about an LS engine, it's because they didn't know what they were doing. So, you know, it's all in the person that's doing the work and how you do it and what you're doing. You got to maintenance. Any engine will blow up and mess up if you don't put oil in it. So, or if you got an oil leak and your oil's going low, you know, it's not gonna last long like that. So just keep your stuff maintenance. Which this one, it's got all new gaskets, everything. I mean, it's pans, everything. You're not gonna need anything.
So it's like it's literally not gonna have any oil leaks at all.
Mm-mm.
Like, it's gonna be super good.
I think that's it for this video. It's almost a 30-minute video. Yeah. We got anything you want to add, Chris? No? Well, I guess
Call it a night.
that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to shut off the video now. So,
to the next video.
yep. All right. Hope that's a decent progress for you guys.
Show Bluebell real quick.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Lisa's probably like, no, they're closing it. No video for mine.
I'm sorry.
I don't think we showed it with the motor out, maybe?
Yeah, we
Okay,
have-
so
we've been so
I'm
busy.
sorry, Lisa. I hadn't forgot about you, but I thought I took a video of this.
Right now, but we'll get maybe a video for the
A separate one.
Yeah.
We'll do a separate video,
This
but
video's going pretty long.
motor, basically we got the vehicle came in on Tuesday. And I think we had the motor out the following day, was it? Or
Something like
maybe it was Thursday. Might have been Thursday. We had the engine out. Yes, because Wednesday was raining really bad. And
It's been bad this whole month.
it just really has been. Yeah, the weather really puts a damper on us and slows it down. But we had the engine out by Thursday night. We stayed here late and we got it out. And that's what it was. And actually, Christian came. Christian was helping us that night.
Yeah, I mean,
So
this whole week we didn't even touch it.
yeah, we didn't do anything to it.
Touch it.
But we are planning on ordering the paint and start the
yeah,
body work.
yeah, yeah.
I want to try to get. I think what we're gonna do. I was gonna try to just go ahead and paint the hood and do it that way on it. But I think what we're gonna do is just do a spray sample first.
I think we'll keep this video short real quick, just for now,
Yeah.
and we'll make a separate, more in-depth one, what we're going to do with it. But
Mm-hmm.
all the Holly stuff, like we said earlier, was for this one. So this one's going to be tricked out too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what we got coming plans for the engine and drivetrain, that's going to be really nice.
Okay. So
the
tomorrow
next- the
we'll
next
make a video
task
for
is
this
just
one.
making sure everything's going to fit. And if it doesn't fit, we're going to see what needs to be altered to make it fit. So
We might have not done anything this week to this one, But we already got the
got
engine
plans.
and the stuff coming for it. Everything
There's
that
plans
we already
in
bought.
motion that
Yeah.
are, you know, because we don't just go in head in deep without knowing what's involved, so or having any type of plan.
Yeah. Okay. So tomorrow, look out for Bluebell's project update, and we'll have a little more talk about that.
Yeah.
And I guess everybody have a good night.